welcome Carm Capriato, the Service Aftermarkets podcast pioneer with the gold standard of aftermarket business podcasts. Join me for Aftermarket Insights as we advance the aftermarket. And as always, know that you'll learn just one thing. Find us on your favorite podcast listening app and remarkableresults.biz or on my YouTube channel. Hey everybody, Carm Capriato, Remarkable Results Radio. Good to have you here. So happy to continue on a weekly basis to bring you all kinds of great leadership, business insights, ideas, great content to make you a better CEO, better individual, a better family person, better everything. That's what we've been doing for the last 9.5 years. With me is Maryann Croce to continue a great series that we're calling Unstoppable, the Unstoppable Framework for Auto Shop Owners. And actually, isn't it a 3-day course that you have?
It's actually part of my 3-day weekend system.
Yeah, that's right. It's your 3-day weekend system. So think about that. What she's saying is maybe Monday or Friday you could take off.
Or customize it, right? The way that you want. Maybe it's Wednesdays or half a days. That's what's nice about it.
Exactly
Customizable.
right. Yeah. Get some time back in your life and understand how you have to run your business in order to do that. Hey, Carm here. Join Tracy and I for the 45th annual Max Training Event and Trade Show, the must-attend event for mobile AC and cooling professionals. It'll be January 30th through February 1st, 2025. It'll be at the Rosen Center Hotel in Orlando, Florida. There's going to be exhibitor booths, and there's still some available, by the way. Lots of great training, so don't miss out. Register today at maxmobileairclimate.org. That's maxmobileairclimate.org. We're going to be there doing some episodes and moderating a town hall panel with Donnie Cipher. Hope to see you there at the Max Conference. Well, we're in part 4 right now is stay customer focused and flexible. I'll just tell everyone that if you've missed number 1, 2, or 3, number 1 was foundation, core values, and vision. Number 2 was master your finances. Number 3 was optimize processes and empower your team. These are short, to the point, concise, almost step-by-step stuff to put life back in your life.
Exactly.
Okay. Let's jump in this. God, you've got to remain adaptable or customer-centered in everything that you do in the business.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's the key to everything, right? So this is episode 4, as you said, and it's part of this unstoppable framework that I'm sharing, again, is part of the 3-day weekend system.
Yeah.
And the simple goal with that is to gain 10 hours a week in 90 days, put an end to shop owner overload, that going 24/7, make your business profitable, sustainable, and enjoyable. Let's not forget that part. So in this 5-episode series, I'm pulling back the curtain to help auto shop owners have a rewarding business and life. All of those things that you were talking about, Carm. It's not about adding more to your day, which a lot of people think it is. It's actually about subtracting. So the magic of being unstoppable is in the doing. Even when it's uncomfortable, it's what makes auto shop owners resilient and adaptable, both personally and professionally, because we know life affects work and work affects life. So rid yourself of the excuses or your reasons, right, that hold you back, because if you defend them, you get to keep them. So it's time to let them go. So in episode 4 here, what I really want to unpack with everyone is when we talk about staying customer focused and flexible, we're talking about building trust and loyalty. This is part of who you are as a company, your brand. When we think about it, it's really thriving through change. And that almost seems kind of like an oxymoron. You're changing, but you're thriving as you're going through it. So really, customer loyalty helps with long-term success. And I find that many owners that I speak to, many clients, are in the day-to-day grind. And when that happens, shop owners can sometimes see customers or clients, whatever they choose to call them, right, as problems instead of the key to success. So today I want to help you shift your perspective to see that feedback is actually an opportunity for growth. It's an opportunity to attract the right customers while building a rewarding business. It really is important to be open when it comes to customer feedback because it offers insight into how to improve services, attract loyal customers. It really helps with that. And even your team, it builds morale in the team when they know that they see that you're constantly improving and keeping up. And when I think about keeping up, as you talk about a lot and have guests on the podcast, keeping up with industry trends and training ensures that owners stay competitive and they can adapt to not only a changing industry, but changing customer needs because they're very different than they were years ago. I've been a shop owner since 1999 and customers are different. They think differently, they buy differently. The world has changed. So today, for an example here, I wanted to share a story, a client story about Sarah. Sarah, what she ended up doing was she introduced loaner cars and she developed local partnerships. So the background to this was Sarah was running a busy auto shop, but she noticed many customers were frustrated about being without a vehicle while their car was in the shop. They had no transportation. So she initially viewed customer complaints as a hassle, another thing to deal with, another thing to manage. But by working together, what we did was she told me that she realized that this inconvenience was holding her business back. So for her, there was definitely a shift, a turning point. And Sarah started listening and learning from her customers. So instead of dismissing feedback or taking it personally, what she did was she started asking customers what they needed to make their experience easier. And then with this insight, she invested in what started out as like a couple of loaner vehicles. And then she arranged partnerships with a local shuttle service. So she also formed referral network with other shops, local shops for services that she didn't provide. So she could refer someone to a body shop or she could refer a customer to a specialty shop. And she really positioned herself as a resource to not only her customers, but her community. So the outcome was increased loyalty and community impact. So customers appreciated the loaner and the shuttle options and were more likely to schedule repairs. They didn't have that frustration about, I don't know what I'm going to do without a vehicle.
Well, she was like the answer lady. I mean, there's nothing that they couldn't do.
Right.
So if I have a vehicle issue or a problem, and I'm not sure if Sarah can do that, well, let's call her and find out. And if Sarah is Oz, all knowing, all seeing, then she's got a hook into a customer base.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened. By referring work to other shops, it actually built trust with customers who returned for future repairs because she had all these connections to really best serve her customers. Her focus on customer convenience actually led to better reviews, increased referrals, and a thriving sustainable business. So, when I think about this, what I really would like to share are takeaways when we think about this. When we shift the way that we think about it, we step away from a minute for the day from the day to day, and we shift our thinking from customers are an opportunity. There's a whole bunch of opportunities there. They're not problems. So the tip here is to train yourself and your team to view complaints as opportunities for improvement. Ask, what can we learn from this? And the idea here is that customers who give feedback care about your services. They may be frustrated, but for them to go and have to find someone new and build a relationship with them, it's a hassle for a lot of people. So they really do care and they want to be heard. So addressing their concerns really strengthens those relationships and builds loyalty. Another takeaway is look at your business from the customer's view. A lot of times when we're in our shop, we're looking at it from inside the shop, the four walls, but looking at it beyond the four walls. A tip here would be walk through your customer's experience from the booking to picking up the vehicle. right? And what are all those steps? What are all those touch points in your shop? Is it 5 touch points, 6, 7? How many are there? And what could make it more seamless? So talk about this with your team. Encourage your team to think like customers. That would be like the next step, the action item here, and identify ways to improve the processes and communication. Maybe one of your processes is kind of cumbersome and you can go in and simplify that. So really get team input, especially from the people that are actually in that role that are doing it,
Yeah.
whether it's a service advisor, customer service rep, whoever it is, whether it's a porter that has contact with customers as they're bringing up vehicles or helping them park vehicles.
Yeah.
Get input from everyone.
The NAPA Now event is a national ownership workshop for our valued Auto Care members centered around business building training from industry leaders. Now, it's not just about owning a shop, it's about owning your future. Join NAPA April 15th through the 17th, 2025 at the Venetian Resort in the heart of Las Vegas, known for its vibrancy, energy, and entrepreneurial spirit. At the event, ignite growth through business building masterclasses from leaders across multiple industries focused on expanding business opportunities. Now, masterclass topics include future-proofing your business, mastering emerging technologies for growth, leadership dynamics, inspiring, engaging, and driving success, shifting tides, understanding evolving consumer behaviors and your bottom line, and young leaders' lasting legacies, mastering succession planning for future growth. Foster collaboration with other like-minded NAPA AutoCare members and store owners. Stop at supplier studios for training, visit AutoCare vendor partners, and finally, join us in celebrating 100 years of NAPA Auto Parts, along with kicking off the next 100 years of partnership. There will also be exclusive giveaways. There are many incentive opportunities to offset the cost of this trip, including Auto Care program earnbacks, and beginning in October, earn up to $1,500 with pre-show supplier training to prepare for the supplier studio training sessions. The NAPA Now event is a national ownership workshop for our valued Auto Care members centered around business building training from industry leaders. Now, it's not just about owning a shop, it's about owning your future. Join NAPA April 15th through the 17th, 2025 at the Venetian Resort in the heart of Las Vegas, known for its vibrancy, energy, and entrepreneurial spirit. Get ready to grow, connect, and celebrate. This is an exclusive event limited to the first 2,000 AutoCare members. Packages are going fast. If you're interested in attending, contact your servicing NAPA store or NAPA salesperson. Thank you. By the way, Maryann is with smallbizvantage.com. Forgot to mention that in the beginning. Look, I've had this for years in the back of my mind, and I've talked about it on the podcast before about the gallon of paint, okay? This is a perfect segue to what you've been talking about. Get input from everyone. And you've just allowed me, by listening so intently to you, to take my paint gallon idea to another level. So I want you to go out and buy a gallon of white paint if you're a shop owner. And every person in the business gets a chance to walk through the business with the gallon of paint, left hand, right hand, doesn't matter. But you start out at the curb and you walk in. And the analogy is that that gallon of paint, Maryann, it's improvement. What's in that gallon of paint is improvement. Doesn't matter if it's on the walls or it's somewhere else. You're walking through with the think of what can I improve? What can I see? Where does the paint go? Maybe the paint doesn't go there, but the chair needs to go, right? You don't paint a new chair, you buy a new chair. And you ask every single individual who works for you over the course of maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and then you jot down all of these great ideas, assemble the team and say, look at what you all discovered we need to do. Yeah, we got to buy 6 gallons of paint. We get that. But there's all these other things that we believe will not only help from the customer's perspective, but from ours
Oh,
and how
yes.
much we enjoy coming to work. So thank you for letting me jump in on that.
Oh, absolutely. It's when you do something like that, it's amazing how it really uplifts everyone in the shop because it looks so fresh and clean. It's inspirational. I love what you said about the white paint because I'll quickly tell this story. I'm still a shop owner. I've had a shop in Connecticut since 1999. I have an amazing team. I'm blessed to have them. But the story about paint, we use our brand colors in the shop, of course, but I wanted the interior doors and the walls painted the trim white. And a lot of people said to me, why white? Don't people's hands get dirty and it's going to show the dirt? And I said, that's exactly the point. I said, I want everything to be clean. So the white will show it. And
Yeah.
then we know we need to clean or paint. If you put a dark color on there, the dirt's still there, but you just don't see it.
Yes, and a
So,
customer pushes through the door and they say, "Ugh,"
right. It
because
feels
black
icky,
covered it up.
glitchy.
Yeah, it's a
Right.
great point. Great
So
point.
yeah, so I love the point that you made. It ties in with that. The third takeaway here is attract the right customers who value your expertise. So the tip is use your shop's unique strengths to attract customers who appreciate your quality and your services. That's what you want to do. The thinking here is you don't have to serve everyone. Focus on servicing customers who align with your values and value your expertise. It's so important. And this way, you're taking the time and the energy to focus on those people, the right fit clients, the right fit customers. The last one here, the last takeaway is stay current with industry training and trends. I can't put enough emphasis on this, not just technical training. There's all kinds of training available in your shop. Regularly invest in training to keep your skills sharp and your services relevant. You want to know what's going on. You want to know what conveniences are out there for your customers and get ideas, even if it's something within the industry or outside of the industry, like going to a chamber event and talking to local businesses, find out what they're doing. It's great to bring new ideas into the industry. It also makes you stand out, makes you a little bit unique.
Yeah,
So the idea here is keep when you have that continuous learning, it keeps you open to new ideas,
yeah.
right? And that
Another
really helps.
fabulous stuff. Recently had a discussion with a few people about texting trends and email
Mhm.
trends and opt-outs. Craig O'Neill has a fabulous podcast this week on opt-outs. When a customer says, "I don't want any more of these texts, I don't want any more of these emails," they're reaching out to you and saying, "This isn't my preferred method of communication." So they opt out. You get all, worried and nervous. I thought they was a good friend of the company, and it's the methodology that you're using. So today, to your point, my God, we've got to stay so connected as to what the trends are. So good point. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We have to keep up with that. So lastly, I want to share really practical steps with you for actually staying focused, right? And flexible for customers, right? You want to stay focused and flexible so that your customer service is actually amazing. So the first thing is gather and act on customer feedback. So create a simple follow-up process and collect feedback regularly
Hmm.
and use that feedback to make small, consistent improvements that show customers that you listen and care. They really appreciate and feel valued when you know that what they say and tell you is important. The second one is streamline the customer experience. So review your processes and really identify those bottlenecks and aim to make each interaction that you have, each one of those touch points seamless and stress free for a customer because they're already stressed about needing work done on their vehicle. People don't know what is involved. So they're already stressed about it. Make it stress free for them. The third one is offer added services to stand out. The idea here is introduce services that adds value, like the shuttle rides or inspections based on the customer's needs. And then even small conveniences can set your shop apart and encourage repeat business. We were talking about this a little bit before, the clean restrooms, a clear drop off area where they can put their vehicle. What's that process for them? Or are they confused? A clean waiting area, coffee, drinks, all those different things that just really make your shop stand out. Build a referral network with other shops. This is playing nice in the sandbox, right? It's really simple. Form partnerships with other local shops for services outside of your specialty. Be that resource. This really helps meet customers' needs. It's the foundation of trust and collaboration within your community. And it's great. I hear so many stories of shops getting help from other shops and supporting each other, even if it's talking about a tool or talking about a new service that they are considering providing for their customers. It really is good to be able to do that. It makes your business stronger. And the last one is stay open to change and evolve with your community. So regularly attend industry training and even community events, that things that are going on in your community, because your local
Yep.
clientele are
Yep. Yep.
probably
You're a local
there.
business. You're a local
Right.
business. You
You
are
be
something.
there, be seen, right?
Yeah.
And stay in tune with those trends so that you really can exceed customer expectations, have those conversations, and it really does help you evolve with customers' needs. Just quick conversations. As a final thought, what I wanted to leave everybody with, and there is going to be a download with this episode as well. By staying customer focused and flexible, you not only build just a business, but you're building lasting relationships. And the shops that thrive are the ones that listen, learn, and evolve.
Wow, good stuff. So let me go back and put myself in our listeners' place.
Mhm.
When you said early in the episode, have fun. Phew, wow, that is so powerful. It is so big because if you're not, something is wrong. If you remember in the early days when people started their businesses, they had so much fun because they couldn't stop thinking, what could I do next? And then the learning came on and the challenges came on. We've changed as an industry. We've changed as the way we market. We've changed the consumers. Think about all the young people and how differently we have to market to them. And those are all heavy lifts. So
Oh,
if you're
yeah.
not having fun, go out and find an expert to help you have fun. You said something, Maryann, thriving through change.
Mm.
Boy, that really hit me. It impacted me in a big way. And what I wrote down was it can hurt. And you wonder if there's any value in continuing to strive through this change that I know I have to make. It could be uncomfortable. There may be some warning signs that maybe you're going in the wrong direction or there needs to be a left or a right. But please don't give up, even if it hurts.
No, and a perfect example of this when you say that, that comes to my mind, which is common, and I know you've done episodes on this, customer reviews, when you get a negative review in your shop. The thing about that is it really is a mindset. It truly, truly is, because when you get that negative review, it's so easy to take it personally. But we're doing all of this and the customer doesn't understand, and there's so much that and they are. I mean, there are shops out there, the majority of shops out there, I believe, have very good intent, and they are working really hard to give the best service to their customers. But when we take it personally and we hold on to it, what happens is we make that harder than it has to be,
Mm-hmm.
and we stay negative. So the next customer that we wait on, we may be very cautious. We may not give our full enthusiasm, our energy to that, because we're kind of stuck in a negative place. And
Yeah.
this can last with people for 2, 3 days, and they kind of put off dealing with it. So the idea here is, what if you were to reframe that way of thinking and say, okay, as the examples I gave, let's walk through the process. Where did it go wrong?
Yeah.
Was there miscommunication? Oh, I found out where it happened. Let's go in and reassess that.
Yeah.
And the idea is, let's constantly learn and update things and put new systems in place, or just tweak them a little
Yeah.
bit, make things a little bit clearer. And now you go from being negative to being positive.
Yeah.
And that energy is very healthy.
I love that. Thriving through change
That's how you thrive.
can hurt. However, as you were just giving me this eloquent reply, I wrote the words timeout.
Mhm.
Think about that. Give yourself a timeout if it's just
Yes.
not working and go back and do some assessments, just like you said. So learn to have fun. One other thing that I loved what you said, it's never been more important today to focus on the customer. And there's so much, I mean, service advisor, service writer training is becoming huge. Just met a shop owner that hired some assistant service advisors, service writers to take some of the load, the mechanical load off of their service advisors. And then classes on communications, really big, really huge today.
Oh, I couldn't
But the
agree more.
and the entire, we talk about DISC a lot, and that's the assessment, the communication style assessments. And if you know what your particular way of communication is, say you're a dominant individual, on my website, on my downloads page, is this great chart that says if you're communicating with an extrovert and you're a dominant individual, these are the things that the extrovert cares about. You've got to speak their language, not yours. And usually that does so much to improve customer relationships, loyalty, and trust. So thanks. This was great. Episode 4, Stay Customer Focused and Flexible in the Unstoppable Maryann Croce series. This was
Yeah,
great.
and I
Thank
want to
you.
just tag on to something that you said that's really,
Yeah.
really valuable. If a shop owner is supporting their team and giving them training and they come back from that training, like you said, if service advisor, customer service, support them.
Yeah.
Don't tell them that you're not going to make these changes. Definitely support them.
Yeah. You're going to watch them do some weird things and say, what the hell did you get that from? From
That's
class. We don't do
try,
that here. Yeah. So
right.
here's
Be
this,
open-minded.
but here's the deal, Maryann. If you send them to training that really affects your entire front end, have them come back and give you the training. Let them convince you what they learned, why it's important, and that we have to do it in the business instead of just coming back and watching them go. So, to your point, perfect.
Absolutely.
Thank you for that. Now, don't forget, if you go to the show notes page, you'll find a link to a downloadable worksheet. Maryann Croce, thank you so much for our part 4 series on the Unstoppable Framework for Auto Shop Owners. Appreciate
Glad
it.
to be here, Carm.